Hi everyone, so I am back with a training log. It's been a little while. I wanted to give you guys a bit of an update on where I'm at and some new things that I'm adding in, some exciting stuff that I am pretty excited about. So here, first clip, working out with Dad. So my dad and I, we frequently get to lift together. Well, not too frequently, but every once in a while. We try to every couple of weeks or so. So this day was just a upper body day that we were able to do together. And so here, just showing some standard curls and some skull crushers. So I actually just started working with my friend Bryce Calvin, and he is a trainer at Diamond Fitness, which is a private gym that I train at in Columbus, Ohio. He is now programming for me, and we just started a couple of weeks ago. So, or actually just like a week and a half ago. So what I'm showing here is what's associated with my new training block. Still a lot of compound lifts, but some new things added in. So I'm currently lifting 5 days per week. That's actually Bryce in the background, the big jacked guy in the sweatshirt. So I'm adding in a couple of conditioning days per week because that is one area that I have slacked on in the past, just for overall athleticism and feeling more like an athlete. And I believe that my physique will show that, actually giving it more attention and more dedication. So here, this has been a lower back saver for me. It is the reverse hyper. So as you can see there, it's a lot of lower back work. This is a good leg and lower back exercise. Essentially what it does, the weight, well, at least for me, I feel it pulling my legs underneath the reverse hyper. And so that actually is a really good stretch for my lower back while also strengthening my lower back with the contraction of my lower back at the top of the movement. So if you're unfamiliar with it, I would definitely recommend looking up the reverse hyper and how to properly do it before you try it, because it can be dangerous if you do it wrong. So here I am adding in block pulls. So I actually I took these out of my program for a while due to the fact that I was just extremely lean during contest prep. And so my last show was in November, where I was able to come away with a world title in WNBF. And so since then, I've gained about 12 pounds or so. I know people are like, oh, you're still stage lean. No, I'm not still stage lean. I just tend to be extremely lean in my extremities, so my arms and my legs, and my lower back and abdominal area is usually where I put on the most body fat. So if you saw me in a progress photo, I'm definitely not stage lean. My arms just genetically stay very lean, and so do my legs. But I definitely have added body fat. I am up 12 pounds. So yeah. So adding more body fat, my leverages are a little bit better. I have a bit more cushion in my abdominal area, so I'm able to add in some more compound lifts. So we are actually adding in block pulls. This is the variation that I'm adding in. Instead of deadlifts from the floor, I'm able to maintain better form. And then I'm also adding in squats again. So there will be a clip up here in a minute, but my focus is definitely a combination of compound lifts and bodybuilding movements. I'm not on one particular program or another. I'm not on a bodybuilding program. I'm not on a powerlifting program. They're not mutually exclusive. Just because you do bodybuilding doesn't mean you need to take out all of the power lifts. Just because you do powerlifting does not mean that you need to get rid of all your bodybuilding movements. And so for right now, I'm just focusing on improving in whatever ways I can. I want to improve my athleticism. So those will be the 2 conditioning days. I do not have any conditioning clips here in this training program, but I will in a future update if you guys are interested. If you're interested in kind of a conditioning video, comment below and let me know. But as of right now, my split is lower upper and then push pull lower. So, or pull, push, I can't remember at this point, but you get the idea with 2 conditioning days. And right now, one of those is a circuit, and the other one is sprints, prowlers, at least for last week. So it'll switch up every week, but I'm enjoying it so far. My main goal is just to stay healthy and to improve in my weak areas. So my weak areas include core stability, so that's where the conditioning days will come in. I also just want to improve overall on my physique development. I'm not sure when I'm going to compete again, but for right now, I don't have any competitions in my mind for either powerlifting or bodybuilding. I am just training hard. And so I think that a lot of times people feel like you have to have a competition, right in front of you in order to stay motivated. My goal for myself is to not have a competition in front of me and to still find some real drive in my training in order to improve and to get better. So I've been an athlete for as long as I can remember. I haven't always had competitions in my mind throughout my training, but it's not, that doesn't make or break me. It's, just dedicating myself to improving and enjoying my training and training hard. So as you can see there, doing some rear delt work. It's one of my favorites on the cables, and here doing some scapula retractions and then doing some lat pull downs. So this would be a back day, just some clips from my back day, and then I supersetted those pull downs with straight arm cable pull downs. These are definitely burn after doing the lat pull downs. So a lot of compound movements, but also some isolation exercises to balance out my training. If you guys have been following me for a while, you know that has been my training for a while and will continue to be my training. I do enjoy the compound lifts, but I also do enjoy isolation lifts as well, isolation work as well. So this would be an example of a lat isolation, a one arm pull down. So really focusing on that mind-muscle connection. I do not just swing through the motion because I don't want to be just, going through and just using body momentum and not, feeling it in the wrong places. So it's not so much about, slowing it down to a snail's pace with each rep, but more so just feeling the muscles that you are actually working. So that is my goal with each exercise. Here I added in squats. This was my first week of this program, so I was pretty conservative. I started with sets of 8, so I did add in 245 pounds for 3 sets of 8, and so I will be progressively working up in weight. This is actually the first time that I have squatted with something this heavy in quite a while. Took out squats, as I mentioned, due to the fact that my leverages were just pretty much crap and I felt like a baby deer squatting. So I added in leg press for the majority of my leg volume because it just makes more sense from an injury perspective and from an overall sustainability perspective. So here, just adding in some one arm rows. I like to do these with a bit of support on the bench. I find that I'm able to focus more on my lat contraction and more on my back contraction as opposed to swinging. If I was, let's say, standing up and using a lot of momentum, I use a little bit of momentum, but make sure I'm slowing down the eccentric too in order to work my back and focus on the muscles that I'm actually trying to work as opposed to just swinging with momentum. Here I will show you cable laterals. So I like to either do dumbbell laterals or cable laterals. Cable laterals are a good variation to add in because you can really slow down the eccentric and focus on that delt as opposed to using your neck or your trap to swing it up. I see a lot of individuals using way too much weight for laterals. You don't need a ton of weight, and I would recommend doing these at a higher rep range so form does not you do not sacrifice form. This is a pretty dangerous exercise to be sacrificing form on, just due to the fact that so much can go wrong with your shoulder. So Here is an incline press, so I am not barbell benching still due to my shoulder issues and injuries that I have sustained for several years. So adding in 1 day of flat bench and 1 day of incline. So I'm definitely excited about the changes in my programming and excited to share with you guys, and as I make improvements and become a little more jacked, a little more athletic, and a little bit more excited about my training. So let me know if you have any questions below, and I'll talk to y'all soon.